Okay, last, I think this is the last topic muna. Baka masyado kayong makongest ng topics natin for today, no? Okay. So can you see my slides na?
Yes po, Doc.
Okay. So let's discuss interstitial lung disease. Your interstitial lung disease is not as common as COPD, but it's the mortality rate is very common or madaas, no? So let's discuss your interstitial lung disease. So your interstitial lung disease, same with your diffuse bronchiectasis, is a diffuse parenchymal lung disease, including a large number, actually more than 200, of heterogeneous conditions that affect the lung parenchyma. So your interstitial lung disease is difficult to diagnose. Why? So masyado siyang dapat multi-subspecialty ang kailangan mo para ma-diagnose mo ang interstitial lung disease. So what does that mean? So there will be a combined weight of clinical data, not just clinical data but laboratory studies. Another is pulmonary function testing, imaging findings, and histopathology if ever na na-obtain ang lung tissue and jointly required to make nga a confident diagnosis. So again, it recommends a multidisciplinary approach to the diagnosis. So hindi lang pulmonologist ang kailangan dyan. Kailangan din ng radiologist for the imaging. Kailangan din ng pathologist for the biopsy. No? So it's a multidisciplinary approach in the diagnosis. So again, in the lungs, this is the problem. It's your interstitium. So when we describe the interstitium, anong sabi natin? The interstitium should be, ano siya, thin or thick layer?
Thin.
Thin. Why?
For efficient diffusion.
For simple diffusion of gases. Tama? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
po.
Okay. So this is the normal interstitium with actually freely passing or the simple diffusion of your oxygen and carbon dioxide, okay? But in your ILD or interstitial lung disease, tignan nyo itong interstitium niya. It is scarred or fibrotic. So, kumakapal siya. Sa tingin nyo, pag ayan, may peklat, may fibrosis, madali lang ba ang pasok ng at labas ng hangin?
No.
Doc.
No. So that's the very pathogenesis of your interstitial lung disease. As simple as that, wala na kayong ibang kailangan isipin. Of course, ang iisipin nyo na lang dyan, okay, kung kapag scarred siya and hirap ang pagpasok ng hangin or exchange ng hangin, it can be a restrictive one. Tama? Restrictive yung problem. Paano pa makakapasok si oxygen dun sa tissues, dun sa blood, no? To be delivered throughout the body. Tama? Yes? Making it a restrictive pulmonary disorder. Tama? Ang ILD?
Yes po, Doc.
Yes. Okay? So that's the very pathogenesis. Of course, what could be the reason bakit scarred yung interstitium or may fibrosis? Yun yung aalamin natin. Okay? So in your interstitial lung disease, what you need to know is there is a scarred, fibrotic, or thickened interstitium. Thereby, there is restriction in the passing of your gases, particularly your oxygen, making ILD a restrictive pulmonary disease. Okay, so that's the basic pathogenesis behind your ILD. Let's go to the classification of ILD. Yes, this diagram is so busy sa slide na to, but we'll just take note of the most important causes of your ILD. This classification is divided into two. Okay? Your ILD of known cause, meaning alam yung nag-cause, bakit nagkaroon ng ILD, scarred yung interstitium ni patient, while there are some ILD na unknown yung causes. Okay? So let's go over on the ILD of known causes muna. First is exposure. Where? What exposure yung gusto niyong sabihin dito? Exposure to occupation such as your asbestosis, silicosis, and other organic dust and inorganic dust, no? Due to occupation like mining, no? Could cause ILD. That's one. Another, exposure to treatment. So medication such as radiation therapy, methotrexate, amiodarone, which is an anti-arrhythmic drug. Ang methotrexate, ginagamit siya as disease-modifying for anti-inflammatory medication. Amiodarone is an anti-arrhythmic medication. Your nitrofurantoin is a medication for UTI. And chemotherapeutic agents, yung mga chemo, nagkikimo na patient na may cancer, lahat yon can lead to ILD. So there is a known cause, exposure to your asbestos, silicosis or silica, no? And treatment-related na exposure, okay? Radiation, medication, chemotherapeutic agents, no? Could lead to ILD. So that's one, exposure. Next is systemic diseases. There are rare causes ng granulomatous disease with vasculitis that can cause lung scarring on the interstitium causing ILD. One of which is your granulomatosis with polyangiitis and Churg-Strauss syndrome. So these are rare, but they can cause systemic disease, and one manifestation is ILD. Another are connective tissue disorders, such as those in your bronchiectasis. It could also lead to ILD, which is the pulmonary manifestation of this disease. Your rheumatoid arthritis, another cause of ILD, scleroderma, polymyositis, and dermatomyositis are also a connective tissue disorder having ILD as the pulmonary manifestation of this systemic disease. Okay? So next, let's jump to your ILD of unknown cause. So meaning pag unknown cause, hindi talaga alam kung bakit nagkaroon ng ILD. Okay? So or yung mechanism behind it is hindi clear bakit nag-cause ng ILD. So first are the idiopathic interstitial pneumonias. And one very important under this is your idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. Again, pag sinabing idiopathic,
This is with unknown cause po.
unknown cause. Okay, very good. Next is there are some interstitial pneumonias that could cause ILD. So yung not clear yung mechanism bakit nagkakaroon ng ILD. These are your non-specific interstitial pneumonia, respiratory bronchiolitis, associated interstitial lung disease, desquamative interstitial pneumonia, cryptogenic organizing pneumonia, acute interstitial pneumonia, and lymphocytic interstitial pneumonia. So these are also idiopathic causes of interstitial pneumonia causing ILD. Okay? So there are other causes na unknown, no? Bakit hindi clear, bakit nagkakaroon ng ILD? So these are the examples which are rare. Lymphangioliomyomatosis, pulmonary alveolar proteinosis, Langerhans cell histiocytosis, and pleural parenchymal fibroelastosis. So these are other causes ng ILD of unknown cause. Bakit? Unclear yung mechanism. And we also have both known cause and unknown cause. These are part of your granulomatous lung disease. And example of which is your sarcoidosis and hypersensitivity pneumonia or hypersensitivity pneumonitis. Your hypersensitivity pneumonitis will be discussed along with your occupational and environmental pulmonary lung diseases. Okay? So I want you to focus on the ILD of known cause na exposure, both the occupational and treatment related. And for your ILD of unknown cause, the idiopathic interstitial pneumonias, your IPF and the other causes of idiopathic interstitial pneumonia. Doon, yun yung mga pag-uusapan natin and pahapyaw, mapapag-usapan natin yung ibang other causes ng ILD. Okay? So let's go over on the unknown causes of your ILD. Include groups of rare disorders, often with classic presentation. So may it be a rare disorder, meron siyang clue in your diagnosis. Example, a spontaneous pneumothorax in a patient na young female with diffuse cystic changes on the CT scan might suggest lymphangioliomyomatosis. So, kapag merong isang patient na young female, tapos sa x-ray biglang may spontaneous pneumothorax siya, tapos ang sa CT scan niya naman nakitaan siya na may diffuse cystic changes, baka lymphangioliomyomatosis and it will cause ILD sa patient. Okay? Another most common groups of your ILDs is your idiopathic interstitial pneumonia. So, siya yung part kanina dun sa unknown cause, di ba? Ito siya. Ito mga to, yung mga non-specific interstitial pneumonia. Okay? So, another in the diagnostic approach in patient is it includes the age. Kapag ang age ng pasyente having suspected ILD, kapag more than 60 years old siya, think of your idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. Kapag naman medyo bata-bata at nag-ILD na si patient, think of around 20 to 40 years old yung patient. Think of sarcoidosis, which is both part of the granulomatous disease na with unknown or known cause. Your connective tissue associated ILD, example of your connective tissue disorders are your rheumatoid arthritis, scleroderma, and less common ILDs such as nga yung LAM, pulmonary Langerhans cells histiocytosis, are differential diagnosis among patients na bata na nagkaroon ng ILD, yung mga 20 to 40 years old. Okay, so I hope that's clear, no? Kapag more than or senior na yung patient nyo, think of IPF, yung idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis natin, guys. Another factor is the sex. May it be male or female, tignan natin. So kung anong mas common sa mga babae and lalaki, no? For young women, again, ano na nga yung sabi natin kanina, young women na nagrepresent ng anong meron sa lungs?
Spontaneous pneumothorax, Doc.
Yes, spontaneous pneumothorax tapos may mga cystic changes sa CT scan. You consider your lymphangioliomyomatosis or LAM. Others, yung mga connective tissue disorders, associated ILD such as yung rheumatoid arthritis, your scleroderma are more common among women again, except for rheumatoid arthritis na associated ILD, which is more common among men. Okay, kapag rheumatoid arthritis na connective tissue disorder, mas common siya sa men. Your idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis and occupational exposure or related ILDs, common yan sa men. Bakit kaya common sa mga occupational or exposure related interstitial lung disease sa lalaki?
Sir, kasi po yung sa may yung asbestos exposure po do kasi yung lalo na yung mga nagwo-work sa mga parang mga yung magagawa po ng mga buildings po, Dok, yung mga semento, ganun.
Okay. Construction workers, miners are common work of men. Tama? Yun ba yung sabi mo, Ading?
Yes po.
That's the very reason they are at risk of having occupational or exposure ILDs. Tama, okay? So, men are the common laborers in mining companies and of course, construction workers. Next, duration of symptoms. We could also have clues on the duration of symptoms. Kapag acute presentation siya, days to weeks lang yung presentation ng ILD niya, you can think of the unusual, eosinophilic pneumonia, acute interstitial pneumonia, hypersensitivity pneumonitis, and granulomatosis with polyangiitis. So sila yung mga acute yung presentation. Pag subacute yan, ang katagal na niya is weeks to months na yung ILD symptoms niya. Think of sarcoidosis, connective tissue disease associated ILD, drug-induced ILD, yung mga may methotrexate, amiodarone, chemotherapeutic medications, and your cryptogenic organizing pneumonia or COP. So kapag subacute yung presentation niya, weeks to months. Kapag chronic yan na indolent yung presentation, on and off yung presentation niya, months to years na ang katagal, think of IPF. Okay, idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. Your idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, again, anong age ang common sa mga IPF?
60 po.
Okay, more than or equal to 60 years old. Sila yung mga seniors na nagpe-present ng ILD. Think of IPF, lalo na kapag chronic na yung ILD nila, months to years na. Okay, so those are the very common factors na pwede nyo i-consider. Considering the age, the sex of the patient, the duration of symptoms that will help you kahit papano ma-diagnose, no, as part of the diagnostic approach in the history of patient, no? So what will be the manifestation of the patient sa tingin nyo? Since may restriction, may restrictive lung disease si patient, anong most common symptoms nila?
Difficulty of breathing po.
Okay, or shortness of breath or dyspnea. So, progression of dyspnea with exertion, lalo na kapag may activity sila, is the most common respiratory symptom of the patient. Lagi niyong tandaan yan. Sa mga ILD patient, progressive yan na dyspnea with exertion. Could also have dry cough, okay, unlike your COPD, lalo na mga chronic bronchitis and bronchiectasis, no? Productive cough yan. Pero in your respiratory symptoms of ILD, dry cough yan. And of course, fatigue, no? Yes, why fatigue? Kasi the delivery of oxygen is diminished among hypoperfused din na mga tissues needing oxygen sana. But because of the restriction of oxygen, there could be fatigue that the patient could suffer, okay? Another, for the past medical history, if you ask the family or medical history of the patient, person history of your connective tissue disorder or history of symptoms commonly associated with your connective tissue disorder, usually meron sila. Okay, yung mga may rheumatoid arthritis, may mga joint pains, yan, ganyan. Okay? History of malignancy also. Examples are your dermatomyositis associated with cryptogenic organizing pneumonia and sarcoid-like reaction. So, yung mga may malignancy din, tapos biglang nag-ILD, common yan. Lalo na kapag nag-chemotherapeutic drugs sila. Okay? History of asthma and allergic rhinitis. Baka meron pala silang eosinophilic na GPA, which is, again, part of your idiopathic na unknown cause, no, ng ILD. Another, you need to ask for medications, lalo na yung mga may kinalaman sa ILD, yung mga nagkakos ng ILD. Methotrexate is one, your azathioprine, rituximab, and tumor necrosis factor alpha blocking agents, also used in medications for chemo, no, are common na medications causing ILD. For your antibiotics, your nitrofurantoin, your antiarrhythmics, your amiodarone, and anti-neoplastic agents na under chemotherapeutic drugs, your bleomycin, are the common medications causing ILD. Take note of that. Next, if you happen to ask any family history of same condition, yes, presence of close relative with your idiopathic pulmonary interstitial lung disease, no, is the strongest risk factor for your idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, no? So, common yan kapag meron ding ganyan na relative, lalo na kapag first degree, isipin mo rin ang IPF, baka nagkakaroon siya ng ganyan yung pasyente. For your mucin gene, okay, or telomerase reverse transcriptase gene also, these are the genes associated with both familial and idiopathic forms of pulmonary fibrosis. So usually in your genetic testing, yan yung dalawang gene na pwedeng mag-cause ng familial and idiopathic forms of pulmonary fibrosis. Another, in your social history of the patient, you ask for the smoking history by computing the PAC years, okay? And it is associated with your respiratory bronchiolitis and desquamative interstitial pneumonia. Okay. So what can you expect on the physical examination? Pag in-assess mo yung pasyente, guys, anong pwede niyong marinig sa baga or makita sa pasyente?
May crackles po, Doc.
Okay, may crackles. Usually not as coarse as crackles of pneumonia or congestion, no? They could be fine crackles. Ano pa, kapag may advanced disease sila, since decrease ang oxygen, there is restriction of oxygen. Anong makikita nyo sa skin color, ganyan?
Bluish po siya, Doc.
Okay, cyanosis. Okay, and digital clubbing or signs of cor pulmonale in your advanced disease of your ILD. So again, and inspiratory fine crackles or rals at the lung bases is a common physical examination findings in your ILD. And signs of advanced disease, cyanotic na sila since may restrictive ng oxygen, digital clubbing, and cor pulmonale. Okay? So in your pulmonary function test, when you do your diagnostic test, anong mapapansin nyo sa PFT test natin? Lalo na yung FEV1, FVC, and TLC or total lung capacity.
Reduced po.
Nagre-reduce po, Doc.
Reduce lahat, tama? Yes?
Yes po, Doc.
Question, ito na yung in association with my first question kanina. In your obstructive pulmonary disease or COPD, mababa both din ang FEV1 FVC ratio. But mas bababa ng level ang FEV1 kaysa FVC sa COPD. In your restrictive lung disease, same lang din ba? Mas bababa ang FEV1 kaysa FVC or the other way around?
FBC, Doc.
Okay, very good So that's the pagkakaiba ng COPD at restrictive lung disease. In your restrictive lung diseases, no, it is true that it is also a reduced FEV1 FVC, pero mas bababa yung FVC. Okay? Thereby, your FEV1 FVC ratio could be, ano ang result ng FEV1 FVC? Kung sa COPD is decreased din siya, less than 0.7 or 70%. In your FEV1 FVC ratio of ILD, anong result? Anyone? Anong result ng FEV1 FVC ratio ng mga patient na may ILD? Kapag sabi nyo, mas bababa yung value ng FVC kaysa FEV1.
Sir,
Decrease
increase
of
po ba yung increase yung ratio?
Okay. So it can be increased ratio or normal yung FEV1 FVC ratio. Take note of that difference between your COPD FEV1 FVC ratio, which is decreased, while in your ILD, it can be normal or high FEV1 FVC ratio. Okay? Nakuha, guys? Or let's take an example na lang para mas maintindihan nyo. Okay, so the normal example, the normal FVC is forced vital capacity is 5 liters. Okay, that's the volume of air, no? In 1 second, if you forcefully exhale within 1 second, ilan ang nalalabas na volume ng air? What's the normal? Mailalabas mo ba lahat yon? 5 liters na FVC mo in 1 second, making your FEV1 in 1 second? Mailalabas mo ba yung 5 liter agad? Hindi. Hello?
Hindi, Doc.
Hindi. So, example, the normal nga is 4 liters lang yung in your forced expiratory na volume in 1 second. 4 liters. So, what's the normal FEV1 FVC ratio with that value? 4 liters divided by 5 liters. Ano ang normal na FEV1 FVC ratio? Can we compute, guys? What's the normal? Hello? Nag-compute ba kayo? Mas maintindihan nyo kasi pag kayo mismo ang nag-compute. So, sabi natin, ang FEV1 FVC ratio is used among or computed among patients na may obstructive tsaka restrictive para makatulong nga in the diagnosis. Ang normal muna ang pinag-uusapan natin na FEV1 FVC ratio. What's the normal? Kung ang FVC...
80%.
Ha?
80% po.
20?
80 po, Doc.
80. Okay? So, 80%. Okay? So, lahat ba kayo nakakuha ng 80 na normal?
Yes, Doc.
Yes. Okay. So, next is your obstructive pulmonary disease. Okay? Your COPD patients. Sabi nyo kanina, anong mas bababa? FEV1 or FVC?
FVC, Doc.
In your COPD?
FEV1.
In your COPD, FEV1. So let's take an example. So sabi niyo mas bababa yung FEV1 pero pareho silang bababa. So example, yung FVC mo, nabawasan lang siya ng 1 liter. So let's take an example, 4 liters siya. Pero yung inyong FEV1, yung normal mo na 4 liters, nag-drop siya into 2.5 liters. So what's the FEV1 FVC ratio? Guys, mag-compute kayo So FEV1 is 2.5 liters. Tapos 4 liters yung inyong FVC. Di ba bababa siya sabi niyo sa COPD. So let's take the FEV1 FVC ratio of that patient. Ilan? Hello? Nakuha niyo yung question ko, Ading, or hindi?
Pakiulit po.
Okay. So sabi nyo kanina sa COPD, bababa both FEV1 and FVC. Tama? Pero sabi nyo, mas bababa yung value ng FEV1 kaysa FVC. So let's take an example. The FEV1 from the normal na 4 liters, ang FEV1 value is 2.5 liters. While your FVC, the normal is 5, no? Example, bumaba siya and the value is 4 liters. So 2.5 divided by 4 liters, that will give you an FEV1 FVC ratio of
0.625, Doc.
Okay, so 60% or 0.6. Tama? Obstructive? Yung value na yon?
Less than 0.7.
Yeah, so less than 0.7. So making it an obstructive result. Tama?
Yes, Doc.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to your FEV1 FVC naman ng restrictive lung disease. So sabi nyo kanina, same din na bababa ang FEV1 and FVC, but bababa ng mas mababa ang FVC kaysa FEV1. So let's take an example. Your FEV1, the normal is 4 liters example. So bumaba lang siya ng bahagya, like 3.5 liters. Pero yung FVC mo, bumaba siya hanggang 3 liters. Okay, so from the normal na 5 liters. So what's the FEV1 FVC ratio of this restrictive lung disease?
1.17, Doc.
1.16, Doc.
Okay, so 116%. Tama ba?
Yes po, Doc.
Yes, Doc.
Yeah. So making a high FEV1 FVC ratio. Tama? Nakuha yung difference in your obstructive pulmonary disease, the FEV1 FV ratio, FEV1 FVC ratio is decreased, while in your restrictive pulmonary disease, it can be normal or increased. Nakuha?
Yes, Doc.
Yes, so I hope that's clear, no? Kapag tinanong kayo soon, no, in your restrictive lung disease, oo, FEV1 and FVC ratio, FEV1 and FVC is decreased. Pero kapag FEV1 FVC ratio na, pag kinompute mo na siya, it can be normal or increased. Okay? So other tests for your restrictive lung disease, such as your diffusing capacity of lung for carbon monoxide or your DLCO, also reduced siya. But take note, your pulmonary function test is really diagnostic. Okay? Minsan, kailangan mo talaga ng multidisciplinary approach talaga in the diagnosis. Sabi ko nga kanina, radiographic, biopsy will help in the diagnosis. So you characterize also by using the pulmonary function test, you can characterize the extent of the disease, and decline in repeated measures are correlated now with elevated rate of mortality. So decline in your reduced in your TLC, FEV1, FVC will lead to elevated rate of mortality. So mas higher yung risk para mamatay yung patient. Okay, so chest imaging that you can do is your chest X-ray. Usually, your chest X-ray is the first clinical indication that an ILD might be present. So, you can check na para siyang, ang itsura niya is, para siyang interstitial pneumonia, ang itsura niya sa chest X-ray. So, I hope isang differential diagnosis niyo is, of course, your ILD also. Lalo na kapag meron ka ng mga manifestation niya and risk factors, lalo na pag may mga family history, medical history, and medications na pwedeng mag-cause ng ILD, you need to suspect ILD also, not just interstitial pneumonia or atypical pneumonia. There could also be enlarged hilar lymph nodes or mga kulani and a pattern of central nodular opacities in the mid to upper lung zones suggests sarcoidosis. So again, your sarcoidosis is a granulomatous disease, no, causing ILD. You could also check for the basilar reticular pattern with small cystic spaces in the absence of clinical evidence for heart failure, and this basilar reticular pattern in the bases of your lungs with small cystic spaces na wala namang heart failure yung pasyente, suspicious of your idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. But still, same with your bronchiectasis, your standard of care in the initial evaluation for your ILD is still high-resolution chest CT scan. Okay, chest CT scan pa rin. And in your ILD, it can define the extent of the ILD, the presence of more concerning features suggestive of advanced disease. Kapag nakakita ka ng honeycombing, ano na nga sa Tagalog ang honeycomb? Ano na nga ang Tagalog ng honeycomb sa pulot-pukyutan? Tama? Yes? Tama ba? Pulot-pukyutan?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Doc.
okay, very good, no? So, honeycombing, ganun yung itsura niya. Makikita niyo mamaya ano yung sinasabi kong parang honeycombing. Can provide information on coexisting diseases also. Kapag yung ILD niya may kasama pang emphysema and lung cancer. Nakakalungkot, no? Kung sama-sama yung pulmonary disease na yon. Meron siyang ILD, at the same time, meron pa siyang COPD, emphysema, tapos meron pa siyang lung cancer. Okay? Siguro ang saklap na ng buhay ng patient. Other, ano yung sabi natin, tutulong ang pathologist, no, kapag may lung biopsy, tama? So, in getting lung sample, you can do your fiber optic bronchoscopy, which is helpful in establishing a specific ILD diagnosis, surgical lung biopsy and VATS, no, video assisted, no, thoracoscopy surgery. So you can do all of these things para makakuha ng tissue sample and makapag-lung biopsy. Okay. So for your idiopathic interstitial pneumonia, no? Ito na yung pag-uusapan natin, mga idiopathic interstitial pneumonia. So the classic manifestation, most common ILD of unknown cause is your idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis pa rin. Your IPF is the most common na ILD of unknown cause. So ulitin ko, ang mga may idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, lalo na ang mga more than or equal to 60 years old, common, it is the most common ILD. Okay? You can diagnose this ILD, your IPF, in the 5th or 6th decade of life. It affects men more than women, and it is frequently associated with history of smoking. Again, so smoking is a risk factor. Same with COPD and your lung cancer. Smoking pa rin ang associated na risk factor. And this IPF or idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis is a progressive disease, no? As in, papahirapan niya yung pasyente until progressive disease niya, lalo na kapag may exertion, which will lead to a poor prognosis. Okay? So, poor prognosis talaga pag may idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. Again, you can do your high-resolution CT scan. So, image findings, you can check for your honeycombing. So, this is an example of honeycombing. So, pulot-pukyutan. Okay? So, nakikita nyo ba? Di ba ang pulot-pukyutan para siyang, tignan ko kung meron akong ibang picture. Wala. Yung isa kong PowerPoint yun. Okay, wait. I'll be showing you a picture para hindi nyo makalimutan yung itsura ng honeycombing. Wait. Hello? So this is your honeycomb lung. Okay? 'Di ba ganyan yung pulot-pukyutan? So kung makikita nyo, para siyang ganyan yung itsura niya. Okay? So in your ILD, in CT scan, you can see this characteristic feature of your ILD. Okay? I hope hindi nyo siya makalimutan. So another is there are also usual interstitial pneumonia pattern for your ILD. Okay? So para siyang pneumonia din na interstitial pneumonia. Okay? But the most distinctive feature talaga is the honeycomb lung na tinatawag. So that's for your ILD. So for the treatment, sa tingin nyo, anong treatment ng idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis? Lalo na kapag advanced na yung case. Chronic yan, right? Pag nag-present yan, chronic. Months to years na. Pinapahirapan niya lang yung pasyente. No? Sa tingin nyo, anong management?
Doc, pwede po yung lung transplant po.
Yeah. Ganun siya ka-grabe, no? Kasi lung transplant agad yung kakailanganin ni patient. We have one patient with ILD dati. Silicosis ata yung nag-cause ng ILD niya. And talagang lagi yan nai-intubate, tapos nawi-win off, nai-intubate ulit, no? Until, kasi minor siya sa way back noong kabataan niya sa China. No? So, sabi namin, ang hirap naman dito, laging nai-intubate, tapos mabibin off, intubate ulit, ganyan. So, ganun ka difficult yung case ng ILD. The treatment really is lung transplant and supplemental oxygen kasi nga restricted yung oxygen and physical therapy, lalo na kapag na survive nila yung idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis nila. Therapy is very necessary for them. So remember, ILD nakakamatay. Yes, tignan nyo ang treatment, lung transplantation. Okay? Next, another na interstitial pneumonia is your cryptogenic organizing pneumonia. Sabi ng mga ate at kuya nyo, yung mga last batch, may linabas sila na ILD na napasadahan namin nung review. I think this is the cryptogenic organizing pneumonia. So the clinical manifestation of patient, same with your IPF, 50 to 60 years old yan. Pero yung mga symptoms na is subacute flu-like symptoms such as cough, dyspnea, fever, and fatigue. And there could be inspiratory results on physical examination, often present yan. And of course, during your pulmonary function test, restrictive lung deficit yung ma-encounter mong result. And it is commonly mistaken for pneumonia. So talagang hindi siya nagkakalayo pati sa itsura, no? Sa X-ray, CT scan, para siyang pneumonia. It occur in isolation or can be secondary to underlying connective tissue disease like your polymyositis or medications also, or can result from an underlying malignancy. So your cryptogenic organizing pneumonia is also an unknown cause of your ILD. Okay? So kapag pinagawa yung inyong CT scan, ganito yung itsura niya, no? Patchy, so kalat-kalat din. Sometimes migratory subpleural consolidation opacities, often with associated ground glass opacity, para siyang COVID pneumonia, interstitial pneumonia, no? So para siyang COVID pneumonia. There could be a rim of subpleural sparing also dito na part, or your reverse halo or atoll sign. Merong part na hindi may sparing or hindi affected na part, no? So that's your reverse halo or atoll sign. Sa tingin nyo, anong gamot for cryptogenic organizing pneumonia? Since mukhang may inflammatory process.
Corticosteroids po.
Okay, so corticosteroids is the treatment for your cryptogenic organizing pneumonia. It's anti-inflammatory. Okay? Next is your acute interstitial pneumonia. So your acute interstitial pneumonia, also known as your Hammond-Rich syndrome. So this is an example of your Hammond-Rich syndrome imaging. So as you can see, interstitial din, hindi siya yung typical na consolidation pneumonia, ganyan, no? So that's for your acute interstitial pneumonia. Pero super rare ang acute interstitial pneumonia na nagkakos ng ILD and often fatal kapag nagkaroon ng ILD yan. The acute onset of respiratory distress and of course, together with hypoxemia is the symptoms of patient, and a prodromal period of symptoms consistent with an acute upper respiratory infection is common. So pag sinabing prodromal, bago talaga yung sakit niya na acute interstitial pneumonia, magpresent yung patient ng acute upper respiratory infection. This is difficult to distinguish from patients na may acute respiratory distress syndrome or ARDS kasi halos same sila ng itsura. May mga infiltrates sa baga, no? So this is the CT scan finding of your acute interstitial pneumonia. That there is really patchy bilateral ground glass opacity as you can see in these arrows, no? So there is patchy ground glass opacity. Scattered patchy infiltrative changes involving the periphery, the yellow arrows, and the anterolateral segment of the right upper lobe and anterior and lateral segments of the lower lobe, the black arrows, are your ground glass opacities. And no focal dominant masses were noted. Walang mga bukol na na-note. Okay? So that's your acute interstitial pneumonia. It is rare na cause ng ILD, but if nag-cause yan, it's very fatal. In your histopathology, when you have biopsy, no? So there is a diffuse alveolar damage, and this is the acute exudative phase of your diffuse alveolar damage with prominent hyaline membranes. Saan nyo ma-encounter ang hyaline membranes? Di ba sa mga lack of surfactant or ARDS, meron yan. Tama? Yes? Yes, soon pag na-encounter nyo na-discuss natin ang ARDS, no? So meron sa pathophysiology niya in the exudative phase then, there will be hyaline membranes. Next is interstitial edema and inflammation are present. So para talaga siyang ARDS. And then the alveolus contain edema fluid as well as a small number of inflammatory cells and RBCs. So kung parang kapareho siya ng ARDS, no, na merong alveolar damage, diffuse alveolar damage, interstitial edema and inflammation, ano siguro ang gamot ni patient?
Mecvento. Pwedeng bigyan ng Mecvento.
Okay, so mechanical ventilator will be the treatment for patients with acute interstitial pneumonia na nag-present with ILD and supportive, no, management. So that is your management for acute interstitial pneumonia. Tignan nyo, no, parang ang hirap magkaroon ng ILD kasi kung titignan mo like IPF, lung transplant agad yung treatment. For your acute interstitial pneumonia na parang ARDS, mechanical ventilator support agad yung treatment. Na I hope yung gravity ng sakit na ito or severity ng sakit na to is talagang masasabi mong high yung mortality risk ng mga patients na may ILD. Kaya nakakatakot magkaroon ng ILD, no? And then to end up this class, this is a common interstitial lung disease finding with a different common na ILD. Okay? So example, your IPF, your idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, the clinical symptoms is a gradual onset of shortness of breath, lalo na kapag on exertion, dry cough, and unusual in younger adults. Kasi sabi natin, anong age ng mga IPF patients?
50 to 60 po.
Okay, 50 to 60 years old. The physical findings, frequent urals at the lung bases, and due to this chronic hypoxemia, there will be digital clubbing, common yan. Exposure, idiopathic, kaya unknown cause, but many exposed to smoke as a risk factor. Genetic findings also explain more than 1/3 of the risk of the disease. And in your high-resolution CT scan, the findings is bilateral subpleural reticular changes, most prominent in the lower posterior lung zones. There could also be traction bronchiectasis and honeycombing common. So again, yung CT scan findings ng IPF honeycombing. The classic usual interstitial pneumonia pattern also a considered diagnostic. For the histopath, again, meron kang fibroblastic foci, temporal and spatial heterogeneity, and honeycombing na makikita sa tissue biopsy. And tignan nyo yung clinical course ng mga IPF. 50% mamamatay, 3 to 5-year mortality. Okay, so ganyan lang katagal yung ibubuhay ng mga patient na may IPF. Okay, 3 to 5 years, 50% of cases. No? So, parang meron na silang tanning, tama? No? So, mahirap magkaroon ng ILD. Next is your non-specific interstitial pneumonia. So, usually subacute yan, weeks to months, ang onset ng shortness of breath, dry cough, frequently associated with other conditions, frequent rals, pero clubbing is less common unlike your IPF. Your exposure could be idiopathic but should prompt consideration for associated conditions. Sa CT scan, makikita peripheral subpleural ground glass and reticular patterns. And also, unlike your IPF, not common ang honeycombing. Pero same with your IPF, meron ding traction bronchiectasis. Okay? And then, usually this CT scan is not diagnostic kasi maraming kaparehong ground glass opacity and reticular pattern si CT scan findings. For your histopath, no, nice to know na lang yan, fibrotic pattern usually. And 18%, or at least 18% konti lang, no? 5-year mortality, yung mga 18% cases ng may non-specific interstitial pneumonia, 18% will have 5-year mortality. Next, mga respiratory bronchiolitis associated ILD. Common sa kanila ang smoking. Strong association ang smoking. Tandaan nyo yan sa kanya. Si respiratory bronchiolitis associated ILD. Can be asymptomatic or some have shortness of breath and cough. RALS is a common finding pero clubbing is also rare. So again, uulitin ko, strong association with smoking, ang respiratory bronchiolitis associated ILD. In your CT scan, there will be diffuse patchy centrilobular, so centrilobules, yung affected ground glass nodules. And sa histopath, makakakita ka ng mga adjacent inflammatory and fibrosing changes and also pigment laden macrophages, okay, sa tissue biopsy. 1/4 or 25% of cases, there is 7-year mortality. At least mas mahaba, no? 7-year mortality rate. Next is systemic sclerosis associated ILD. Ito yung mga connective tissue na pwedeng mag-cause ng ILD also. So may mga systemic sclerosis. Systemic sclerosis is another autoimmune, no? So gradual onset of shortness of breath, dry cough, fatigue, tightening of the skin, exaggerated cold exposure or response, reflux, acid reflux, and difficulty swallowing. They could also be having RALS in isolation for the physical exam and also skin tightening, joint swelling, and telangiectasias. Most common, mostly unknown, some debate about solvent and silicate exposure. Ang association is systemic sclerosis, ILD. Okay, you can also check in the CT scan finding, usual interstitial pneumonia pattern. Also, the non-specific interstitial pneumonia pattern. Also, dilated esophagus, occasional mediastinal calcifications, and pulmonary vascular enlargement in the CT scan. So again, in the histopath, you can see usual interstitial pneumonia and non-specific interstitial pneumonia patterns. And mataas-taas yung ibubuhay pa ni patient, no? 10-year mortality, mga 20 to 30% cases of patients having systemic sclerosis associated ILD. Last is your sarcoidosis, which is a granulomatous disease. Can be asymptomatic, same with respiratory bronchiolitis-associated ILD, but some patients have SOB or shortness of breath and cough. Can also have fatigue, palpitations, eye, skin, and joint findings. The physical exam, minsan, normal yung physical exam. RALs may be present also. Can have skin findings, joint pain, and enlarged lymph nodes. The exposure mostly is unknown, although silicate dust thought to play a role in some cases. Same with your systemic sclerosis-associated ILD. In your CT scan, since your sarcoidosis is a granulomatous mass, you can see mediastinal and hilar lymphadenopathy, lumalaki yung mga kulani dyan. You could also see peribronchovascular reticular nodular findings in the CT scan. And usually, the histopathology report is a non-cacheating granuloma. No? So, formation of mass, may mga inflammatory cells doon, merong mga dead cells, no? So, granuloma formation. And usually, the clinical course is generally low, but varies by state, no? So, depending on the condition. Okay? So, that's the common interstitial lung disease findings when it in terms of clinical findings or symptoms, physical exam exposures, and CT scan findings, biopsy, and mortality rate of patients with this interstitial lung diseases. Any question for ILD? Basta tandaan nyo ano yung PFT findings for the restrictive. Nasabi na natin yan kanina. What is the pathogenesis behind it? Paano nagkakaroon ng scarred or fibrotic interstitium, thereby restricting the oxygen diffusion in the interstitium nga, kapalit ng carbon dioxide. And then the most common causes or classification of your ILD, and the unknown cause and yung mga may known cause, no? And of course, the imaging studies, yung the usual na pattern nila in the CT scan, which is the modality of choice, diagnostic modality of choice, which is your CT scan pa rin. Okay? And of course, the treatment, magkakaiba sila ng treatment pero yung treatment niya talagang like lung transplantation among IPF. So wala nang ibang choice talaga ng treatment kundi lung transplantation or mechanical ventilation. Example, yung may acute interstitial pneumonia having ILD. Okay? So I think that's my last slide. Any question for ILD? Wala?
Doc, okay naman na po sa akin, Doc.
Okay, so I hope other classmates also, no? Wala ng question. I'll be asking for a reschedule of one class this coming week. I'll be talking to Ading Leanne, no? Baka hindi ko kayo mamit ng Saturday, pero earlier sana na day next week for your lung cancer and asthma, no? Sana mabigyan niyo ako ng time. Magtanong ako kay Ading Lian, kung ano yung magiging common yun na time na hindi Saturday. Okay? Para sana pwede siguro kung meron kayong vacant ng umaga ng Friday, which is March 8, I think that's March 8. Baka meron kayong time, no? Baka mas magandang ma-deliver ko yung lung cancer at saka asthma. Okay? Kasi hindi ako available ng Saturday next week. Okay? So, thank you guys. Ading Christopher, can you lead the closing prayer? But before that, can we have a picture muna? Tignan ko kung sino pa yung nasa Zoom. Okay?